Hi there, welcome. Thank you for being here. We're going to get you some clarity and see what's going on in the energy. It's a timeless reading. It's also collective, so see which messages feel like they twinkle, like they make sense to you. If it doesn't make any sense, it's a message for somebody else. And always follow and trust that beautiful, deep, direct, divine connection that's in you. The answer is always in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition, so your decisions are sound, based in love, for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's dive in. We're going to start with what's the news. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Some of you have a new boo. Some of you are starting to date someone and it's getting more serious. Some of you have a new boo coming in. You maybe haven't met them yet. So I feel like some of you have been preparing somehow, like you've been cleaning your house, giving yourself a little glow up. You felt a little change in the energy in you. And maybe for some of you, it's because you started putting the energy into you and not like going out there and finding somebody to date. I don't feel like it's that kind of energy. I feel like that's a little too, I feel kind of desperate. I feel like a lot of you, even if you truly desire this connection with somebody, you've put the desperation, in the closet. You put something away. I actually see a nicely made bed. So I feel like it has to do with your surroundings. Maybe you're taking care of your home, taking care of yourself, kind of just relaxed your energy. And I feel like, bam, that's when someone comes on in. For some of you, maybe it's somebody coming back. And I do feel like there's definitely a sparkle between you and a certain person. It's a beautiful energy that you have. And I feel like you're going to start to make more and more time for each other. So maybe some of you are really busy, or this person is kind of busy. I feel like they're going to make room for you, because it's, even if they're, at work or whatever, they're still dreaming about this moment with you, whether it's that they get to just say hello to you for 5 minutes or 5 hours or 5 days. You're learning more about somebody. You have the flirts here, someone's flirting with you. Maybe for some of you, you've had the flirts with someone for a little while, but you never went on a date. Maybe you're the one that asked that person out. I just heard casual. So maybe it's not something super fancy. Maybe it's just kind of like, hey, let's continue this conversation, but I need a cup of coffee. I need a little pick-me-up. Do you want to go with coffee? Go get coffee. And all of a sudden, maybe business talk turns into something else, or casual conversation I hear a little more mysterious. Maybe somebody is kind of a mystery to you. Maybe this is like a mystery you get to unravel moment by moment. Let's see what's going on with your boo. Because I see that. I feel like something comes out of nowhere. I see like, boo, like not in a weird way. Like you just didn't expect it. Maybe also because I see that. Maybe for some of you, it could have been somebody that kind of ghosted you in the past. Maybe they come back out of nowhere. You thought that ghost was long gone. If somebody ghosted you in the past and they come back, it says new love. They're coming back with a new energy, and it says learning each other. If somebody ghosted you, they had a lot of learning to do about themselves and their actions, and probably how they mistreated you or mishandled you, or lack of communication, or immaturity in some capacity. So there's somebody that maybe learned more about themselves, maybe how they tended to act in a certain manner. I feel like out of habit, but I feel like they felt bad with you. If that's somebody that's coming back from the past, I do feel like somebody's not going to come back the same, or you're not going to really stick around if they haven't changed. Sort of what I see. So good for you, because I feel like if you had some space, you actually gained a lot of healing. You gained a lot of awareness and self-awareness on your own actions, also boundaries, what you deserve, and what you won't accept. It feels really strong, but this connection feels really natural. I do feel like for some of you, I actually heard turned off. You know, maybe you had the flirts with somebody in the past, and for some of you, this is a whole other group. You actually see somebody from the past that you always thought you had a thing for. You always thought it was the one that got away and hoped there would be a reconnection. And then maybe there's a reconnection. Like you see this person in the store, they call you out of nowhere. Something like that. And you kind of always thought that, oh, but chemistry, you'd be like right back where you were. And I don't feel like you are. I still feel like you've grown. I feel like if you thought that the flirts would get you, for a group of you, you're going to see someone, and even if this person is doing well for themselves, or maybe they're still doing the same old pattern, there's something where you've changed, and you kind of like see this person maybe in a different light. I'm not getting like a bad light. I just feel like you don't have that same chemistry kind of thing that you thought you would until you see them, and all of a sudden you're like, huh, I am over here. Wow. You know, so how's the weather? How's your life been? Kind of like that. For some of you, the chemistry hasn't gone anywhere. For some of you, it's a chemistry you recognize right away, and you're making more and more room for that magnetic attraction to be a part of your regular schedule. So let's get one more from this. I'm definitely getting different groups of you today. So my boo. Yeah, for some, well, for some of you, you're not on that roller coaster. See, even with this, I get different messages. That roller coaster energy. Now, someone like me, I see a roller coaster, I'm like, ooh, I want to get on again. You know, I run to the front of the line, let's do it again. So there can be a roller coaster energy that's exciting. You know, it feels like a fun ride, but I feel like if you're in that roller coaster vibration with someone, it's somebody who's sitting, you know, in the front row with you, like, woo! It's not somebody who's making you go on that roller coaster. There's kind of a difference here. And if it's a roller coaster ride where it's like an emotional roller coaster, and it was in and it was out and it was up and it was down and it was like amazing and exciting, and then your stomach is churning, that's not a roller coaster you're getting back on. I also feel like for a lot of you, this energy feels really natural. It's almost like for some of you, if you always had that, like, maybe a lot of chemistry, but always a lot of drama, or you didn't know where you were standing in line. Do you have the VI pass to get on first? Or, you know, are you at the back of the line and that thing never moves? It's like, if you were there before, there's something about this connection you are coming into, being so different that you almost expect it to, like, all right, when is the floor gonna drop out from under me? You know, when is that thing gonna come around the corner and just say boo? I don't feel like that's going to happen. I feel like there's something that's going to get on track, feel really consistent, not lack of enthusiasm, not lack of excitement, but different. It feels like, you know, you're secure in that excitement. That feels really nice. But for some of you, if there was a situation that was high, low, off, on, hot, cold, good, bad, weird, amazeballs, I feel like that ride got a little boring for you. And you're like, yeah, I've been on that ride. I'm going to go to a totally different amusement park now. Something else is going to amuse me way more than that. It's almost like I'm kind of getting, I don't know, I see like a kid's amusement park or something like that. You know, those little like weird little like choo-choo trains that kind of just go around, go over a little hump and go around. It's like maybe in the beginning that felt kind of exciting. And I feel like even if it's a big roller coaster, there's something about you being bigger than that. And you're looking at it and you're like, I can't believe I used to think that was fun. Yeah, that wasn't fun. That's now, I actually just heard boring. It sounded like that. It was weird. So something that maybe was thrilling before is now boring the you-know-what out of you. And there's another new person or new energy that feels uplifting in a different way. I keep hearing secure. You feel secure with this person. I feel like even if you are in different vibrations. So let's just say one day, you know, you're really happy-go-lucky and you're feeling really good and you're having like a great day, great connection. There's something where even when you have your lows or you had a weird day at work or, you know, something, you got stuck in traffic, you know, you had a fight with your sibling or something like that. You know, there's something where this person kind of still brings a beautiful energy to you. You don't feel insecure if you know, something was kind of off balance. There's something about this connection that brings you back into balance. Maybe that's also you for them. So let's continue. I'm going to use these two as the foundation, but let's dive a little deeper, because I'm definitely getting like different situations. It could be past, future, present, different people. I do feel like some of you are seeing the difference between one person and another person. I also feel like there could be a person that is, I hear emotional, but that could be the other extreme and kind of never show emotions at all. And you don't really know what you're, you know, hey, feeling this connection? Like, what's going on? And there's somebody who might be, I am getting a little love bombing for some of you. I feel like that is not the person here you're connecting to, but there might be somebody who kind of, you know, I heard fishing for compliments, but then I feel like somebody might be like, you know, when somebody just gives you like 20 compliments in half an hour, it's just like, wow, first compliment was really, really sweet. And now I'm starting to feel weird. Now it's getting weird. I feel like anything that got weird, you're either discontinuing, addressing, and you're heading towards like genuine. I'm even getting something, I hear insecurity now. So I like that I'm getting different messages from these two cards. I hear insecure. So either, let's just say you or a person you're going on a date with or you're connecting to. You know, you're learning more about the connections, getting deeper. There might be something that one of you is insecure about, whether that's a quirk, whether that's, you know, appearance, whether that's, I even see like, I hear into, like something you're into, maybe it's taboo, but I'm not getting like weird taboo. I actually see comic books. So maybe there's just something where you're like, you know, they think I'm this business person, or they think I'm secure and I have, you know, I have all these family values, but they don't know about my secret, my secret comic book collection or something like that. It's like something that's, it actually is endearing. It's actually kind of cute. It's you. It's something that's kind of cool, but I feel like there's something where maybe somebody didn't want to open up about that. And yet there's a perfect moment where the other person says, I know this is really weird, but I have a collection of comic books. Did you ever, you know, what do you think about Wonder Woman? You know, and you're like, what did you just say? Like, hey, you want to go to Comic-Con tomorrow? That's sort of what I see. Like somebody maybe has a similar, you know, a similar interest, or let's just say it's how your appearance is when you're going out on the date and you put on an outfit, like, you know, you put on 20 different outfits before you went out. And that one thing that you were insecure about is the first thing that somebody gives you like a genuine compliment that they actually love about you. And you always found that like, that's like the weird part of my body or something like that. And this person's like, oh, I love your ... And you're like, but you can feel how it was a genuine compliment. And it's almost like it like counteracts that insecurity almost to the point where you're like, kind of still don't believe it for a little bit, but it feels really good. It feels really nice. I like this. I also feel like it might not be the similar thing. Like maybe you and someone else have totally different quirks or things that you're into, but I see interest. So let's just say we'll go back to comic books. This person doesn't know a damn thing about any comic books. It's not their interest, never was in their sphere of the world. And they hear you talk about it. They hear your enthusiasm. You know, you get to the you know, the really deep details of the character complications and all the stuff. And all of a sudden somebody has genuine interest, not just because you're interested in it and they want to be cool, but they're really like, wow, I just never even knew about that before. That's actually really interesting. And I feel like there might be something that you present that is maybe totally different. Maybe it's not comic books, you know, maybe it's something that you create, or I actually see a computer, maybe something about a computer. And maybe it could be something that you think they're going to find really boring. Like maybe you do computer coding or you work with robots or something like that. And you're like, yeah, they're going to think I'm such a dork. But then you talk about it and you know, it really does excite you. It's really something you're into. And I do feel like there's maybe somebody that didn't know about a certain subject, and yet I hear benefit. There's something that they maybe can help you with even. Maybe if their skill or their, you know, expertise or their natural knack. I hear a natural knack for something might be in a totally different arena or field. It's like they can actually contribute to something you're doing. I hope that made sense. I just went on like a comic book tangent with this. Maybe some of you like comic books. Let's go to the mystery deck. Let's get a couple of mystery messages and just see what comes on through. What would be helpful? Actually, let's just do this. Let's just do it. I'm going to close my eyes because otherwise I'm going to look at it. Cut the deck, put it in, and pull some cards on Yubu and roller coaster. I love that. Maybe you don't go on a roller coaster next time. Maybe you get to go up in a UFO. Hey, that's a different kind of ride, isn't it? So I love this card. When I made this card, I put it in here as something that is almost unbelievable coming through, where it actually feels like you are out of this world. I also feel like the extra message with this is if you always felt like an alien, you know, it's like, oh, they're never gonna understand me. It's like I was born on, I should have been on another planet. How am I here on Earth? It's like you're gonna meet your, you know, your perfect counterpart, but maybe from a, you know, maybe from a different galaxy, and yet you're gonna really groove together. You can learn to drive each other's UFOs. I love that the UFO came through. It's just something special and different and unique. And I feel like it's also something that maybe not everybody will understand, but you're going to have somebody that just gets you. Beautiful. What else? Oh, that's very direct. Maybe if you were waiting to answer someone, maybe you have to answer someone. I also see like, I don't know why I hear a game. Like, you know, when I hear instinct, you know, when somebody asks you a question and you can like sit there and you're like, I don't know. There's something about you having like the first answer that comes to you. Maybe says all, but maybe you know, you're getting an answer really soon from somebody. I hear somebody deserves an answer. Answer now. I just hear a phone. I hear a phone, and I actually see somebody like running to find their phone, and they hear it and they don't know where it is, but they know that ring is special and they got to find their phone. So I do feel like there's somebody that's going to call you, and it feels happy. I see a smile. I see somebody smiling. Oh my goodness, this is why I love these. So guess what came through? There's your comic book. Hey, Wonder Woman. Thanks for showing up in this reading for the collective today. So maybe some of you do like Wonder Woman. I mean, wasn't she actually, she was like an Amazon. Was she actually like from another planet and got put here? Maybe you know a little more about Wonder Woman. Maybe you can resolve that in the comments if you know. I know she was an Amazon, but didn't she have outer worldly connections somehow? I mean, she does have that magic lasso, but her UFO was an invisible plane. I love that. Somebody's going to definitely be amazing. So maybe you just see somebody as like your Wonder Man or your Wonder Woman, and you just keep wondering more and more. I feel like that's really exciting. I also feel like there's somebody really powerful. I feel like she has that masculinity and yet femininity. You know, like Wonder Woman can kick someone's ass pretty easily, but I feel like she doesn't have to push that power. There's something about being powerful and gentle at the same time. I just love that she just came through. That just made my reading. That just made this whole reading for me, and I'm so glad that you got that message. So what else? We got Wonder Woman UFO answer now. And you got a Westie riding a unicorn. Maybe you're going to find your unicorn. You know, you're going to look at this person, you'd be like, oh my gosh, are you a unicorn? Did two unicorns just meet each other? Maybe that's how somebody feels about you too. They're like, did I just meet a unicorn? Are you even real? Are you from outer space? Are you a superhero? Who are you? How are you my boo? Where did you come from? It's, you know, when I see the unicorn, the unicorn appears to those that have purity of heart, purity of soul. You know, it's it's that innocent, truthful, divine energy that the unicorn is attracted to. And, you know, it's also that I'm getting a kind of little bit of that horsepower. Somebody's hitting the horsepower, but look at this. You got the rainbow here. So maybe there was a storm. Maybe this is about chakra alignment. You found your unicorn at the end of the rainbow. And it looks like somebody's like hitting the horsepower. I just heard taking a ride. I'm just gonna let that go. I mean, hey, you know, all right, let's continue. Let's continue before I get weird. But I do feel like maybe a car ride. Maybe a road trip or something like that. Let's get one more. Maybe you're just chill. I like how all the ones that don't really have words are coming out. I said something about you feeling relaxed around a person. This is definitely somebody who's relaxed in your energy. Maybe it's not even, you know, these experiences that are full of excitement, but maybe it's just the energy of you and this person being able to sit on the porch, say nothing, and just enjoy each other's energy. I also feel like this is also somebody, whether that's you or them or both of you, where you're totally daydreaming about these experiences you're having, this, you know, deepening of a partnership coming in. I just, like, I don't know why I just heard, what would it be like to really be with Wonder Woman? Or why would Wonder Woman want me? I feel like there's tongue twisters coming out. It's because if Wonder Woman wants somebody else, she sees that that's her Superman, or she sees that that's her, Green Lantern, or she sees that that is her divine counterpart, an actual good match. Yeah, that's kind of what I see. Somebody's almost wondering why they got that opportunity, but Wonder Woman's thinking the same thing. So let's get one more. Well, if anyone's going to beat the challenge, it's going to be Wonder Woman. If you have any challenge here together with this person, you're going to definitely overcome any obstacles. I mean, you have a magical flying unicorn. You can just ride the rainbow. So you're definitely going to figure it out. I also feel like it's that energy I saw where the other person might have some information, even if they know nothing about the subject. So maybe if you're in a dilemma, or if you don't think that you can figure something out, you're trying to figure out a solution or something like that, I kind of feel like somebody might help you with that answer. They might even not know that they're helping you, though. You know, they might just kind of be asking you a question that you never asked yourself, that takes you to a different perspective, that actually brings you to the answer you knew all along. I hope that made sense. So, what should we do next? Let's go to, if you want to do the divine truth, I did bring it. And we do have all of, you know, you did start out with a little boo energy here. So let's see what comes through in the divine truth. I already shuffled these, but I feel like I want to give it an extra shuffle. All right, let's see. Let's just maybe get one from the divine truth to give a little clarity on, I mean, wow, maybe that's our first one. Somebody maybe, I mean, here it does kind of look like somebody needed a little alone time. I also feel like for some of you, this might be you and someone else needing a little alone time together. If somebody took some time, I did see the ghosting thing before. If somebody took a little time to isolate themselves, I feel like it's not even isolation from you. I feel like for some of you, this is even maybe somebody who needed to, if they had chaos in the house, chaos in the company, you know, this is somebody that needed to go sit on the porch, you know, go to the beach, get away from all those energies that are confusing them and just hear themselves think. Or maybe get out of thinking too much and listen to how their heart feels. So this is somebody that needed to figure something out alone. And I needed to figure out who I am and who I want to be. Please be patient with me. I mean, that's pretty big. If somebody is suddenly, you know, recalculating who it is that they are, and maybe what they were striving for before is now no longer, after meeting Wonder Woman, what they are striving for in the future. So this might be somebody who just needs to, like, I heard shift gears, but I feel like it's a reboot. You know, like almost had to, it's almost like, you know, when you have, what's that, the cache in your phone, and there's way too many files, and now they are like making the system not processing correctly. It's like somebody wasn't processing something correctly because there were too many dirty files. So somebody had to literally like pull the plug, reboot, you know, go back to the start, or what's that, go back to factory settings, or get the update so something runs more smoothly. It's like somebody was running on, I just heard the old game plan. I don't know what that means. Or like the old, yeah, it was like not updated. I don't know what they call that in a computer. I'm not really a computer person, but it's like they were running a new phone on an old system, or a new, you know, the new them was running on the old system, and they feel this new energy, and it's not working with what they were connecting to before. I hope that made sense for some of you. It's just asking you to have a little patience with someone. It could also be that you meet somebody, it's going really well, and then you don't hear from somebody for a couple days. I don't feel like it's this like hot cold situation. I do feel like there's going to be maybe communication, or maybe that's what you talk about in the beginning. Say, hey, I don't mind if you go and do your thing, but just let me know if you're going away. I feel like you get that communication. And if somebody went in isolation and there wasn't communication, this is your message to say, hey, you can go in, you know, go in the man cave, go in the lady cave, go away as long as you want. I'm okay with that. But I would like a little respect, and just give me a heads up. Say you're going to go away for a couple days, you know, I'll go do my own thing. So I do feel like if that is an issue, you know, because of past situations with you or currently with this person, once you have that conversation, you get to see if those changes are made. And then I do feel like you have to offer that grace that you talked about. If you're okay, and you said, you know, I know sometimes people just need a little alone space. It's not personal. Sometimes people just get overwhelmed and they just need some, you know, self-time. And if somebody is like that and they need some alone time, and you said you'd give them space, don't be calling them, love bombing them, you know, sending them a billion texts to see what they're doing. They got there okay. Just trust. I feel like if you have that energy of allowance and trust, it's more likely somebody will take less and less moments of isolation, because in that isolation, all they're going to be thinking about is being around you and how understanding you are. I hope it made sense for some of you. So let's get one more, since that kind of flew out. I don't know why I just heard the song Struggle by Ringside. It's kind of a random song to come through. It says, Elvis in a landslide. It's like, it has this guy and he's like, struggle. Like, it's a really weird song. I'll put it down there for you guys to think, to listen to. On a landslide. I can only kind of get it sort of a little bit. I just hear that part about Elvis on a landslide. That always makes me think of like, Elvis has left the building. Maybe somebody left. Maybe somebody felt like the spotlight was always on them and they did need a little time away, you know, a little relaxing time to look at the reflection of their surroundings and themselves. I don't know why I see a pompadour. Maybe somebody has a pompadour. You're actually pretty amazing if you have a pompadour. I kind of love that. It's like that Elvis thing, you know, the extra hair right here. Maybe somebody's doing something different with their hair. And that's not like a feminine or masculine look. That look looks amazeballs on anyone. You know, it's just like, you know, you gotta wear it with that Elvis kind of confidence. I just thought of something. Maybe I had to get this message. It was a long time ago that I read this, so please bear with me on the Dusty Brain Files. But there was somebody who worked with Elvis. I want to say on like one of his weird movies, you know, his like Hawaii movies. And they were trying to film something. And there was this storm that just wouldn't stop. They couldn't, you know, set up the cameras, and everything was getting blown away. And Elvis, he did a little like, you know, tapping into the weather energy thing. He said he'd never seen anything like that in his life. And maybe this is just an energetic imprint. Maybe it's somebody's bullshit story. I don't know, but I still feel like the message is the same as far as having value. Like I'm getting a little aerokinesis, you know, definitely working with the elements of nature. Maybe some of you have that kind of energy. You know, pyrokinesis, aerokinesis, I know that's kind of big. It seems like it's crazy. No, nobody can control water with their hands, but we have energy. We are energy, you know? It's, so anyway, Elvis came out and he was like, yeah, this can't go on. I don't have that much time with this. And he like yelled at the sky and he was like, all right, that's enough. And this guy said he's never seen anything like it. It literally, the storm just stopped. It stopped. The rain stopped, the wind stopped, the sun came out, and he was like, oh my gosh, Elvis is the king. Or like how did nature just listen to him like that? I mean, we are powerful beings. You have to believe, you know, and how divinely powerful we are, especially when your vibration is in pure intentions, you know, like that magical unicorn over here. There's something so much stronger about that energy of light. You only need a little light to make the difference on a lot of dark. So that was kind of an extra message. I'm not sure why Elvis slipped on into this reading. Maybe I'll make that the title. It's like when Elvis and Wonder Woman are in a relationship together. I mean, that would be a power couple. Hey, I love it. Oh my gosh, please somebody make that a comic book. Somebody make that a story for me. I hope some of you do something creative and do like a writer. If you can make a cool story out of that. All right, what is one more message? So there's definitely somebody watching you, but in a good way. This is somebody who, even if they're in isolation, they're still checking out your social media. If you don't have social media, they're looking at a picture in your phone. If they don't have a picture of you in their phone, they're imagining it in their head. This is somebody who, every time you post something, they kind of just want to see what you're doing. I also feel like that's this new person too, but I'm not getting any kind of weird energy with that. I feel like somebody's just curious. Somebody, like maybe some of you do something online and they just want to see your work. You know, they want to see what you're all about, what you put your energy into, why you're so enthusiastic about this thing. Because I am getting a lot of creativity. I'm also seeing with that Wonder Woman and the Beat the Challenge that somebody is maybe looking back at how far you've come or what you've overcome. Checking on your social media has become a new daily habit of theirs. So, you know, it's just kind of an extra message. There's nothing kind of, I feel like that's very neutral. I'm not really getting super nosy pants kind of energy. I feel like they're like this is somebody who's in awe of you. Yeah. It's like almost like you have a conversation and they know the one side of you, but I feel like this is somebody looking at the creative side of you or the professional side of you. Or I even see somebody looking like back if you have, you know, something where you have pictures from like 10 years ago or you as a child. I kind of feel like someone's looking at you and they're like, oh my God, they were the cutest little kid. Or look at what they look like in high school with their pompadour. You know, like there's something like someone's just kind of, I don't know, just really interested in you. And I'm getting genuine. You know, for some of you, you might have somebody that was that roller coaster ride person and they've seen you in a new vibration. Maybe you're the one that had a little isolation and they see your Wonder Woman or Wonder Man UFO glow up. And they're wondering, how did you get a unicorn to ride? How are you doing that? So there might be somebody who is a little bit nosy or curious. I don't think that that's somebody you're interested in, but maybe just know, maybe you're inspiring somebody from afar. So let's go to the tarot. Let's do the tarot. Oh yeah. Yeah, I brought my fun one. This is the summer holiday. And I just think it's the cutest little tarot deck. It's so cute. So, hold on. I'm going to pause you 1 second. Where's the pause on this one? Let's ask specifically about some of these. Let's ask about the new boo. New love, learning, about each other and some flirtation going on. Let's ask about this new boo. What would be helpful for the collective to know about this new love situation? Please and thank you. Tell us about the new boo. New boo, please. That there's somebody making plans for the future with you. Wow, this is somebody who maybe felt like their wish would never come true, that you are not only out of this world, but you are like that untouchable star. This is you being a star in someone's eyes, starring in each other's movie. Maybe you need to make some plans together. I feel like there's somebody planning more than you've had conversations about. This is somebody looking out into the horizon. This is nice because this is a journey. This is where sometimes you do have to be patient. Sometimes this is somebody just leaving the other side way across the ocean. They've got a long distance to travel on that surfboard to get over to you. But their eyes are set on that other shore, on what they maybe can't quite see, but they're excited to dive into that water, catch the right wave, and act upon those plans, which they might feel are kind of like a dream come true. And I feel like it does involve you, because the star is healing. The star is here. You're just like letting go. You're trusting that even if you let go of those emotions, that you find a different path, or, you know, the twists and turns, you're going to make it to the ocean, that there's plenty for everyone. This is an abundance of love that can come in because you have these containers and the whole ocean there. You can fill it up as much as you want. So there is something where you are, I feel like you have been working on yourself. You have been working on your own dreams. I also feel like you're getting some support from someone who also wants to see your dreams come true, and vice versa. But there's something about new dreams you create together. But there has to be that landing. There might have to be an ending, because this is where you had that idea that inspired your soul. Then you book the ticket. The ticket's in your hand. Now you're in the Uber on the way to the airport, or on the plane, you know, going across. There's like that in between. Something is going to arrive. So it's doing something in the meantime, productive and spiritual with your energy. If it hasn't quite arrived yet, what can you do where you're not just like parking your ass down waiting for something to come, like twiddling your thumbs? Isn't that a song, Thumbs? I think that's Sabrina Carpenter. I think so. I haven't heard it in a very long time. This is something where you're doing right now what is inspiring to you. I feel like that's also something you've been working on, which is why you are so extra inspiring when this person comes in. Because I hear you just like got your own thing going on, whatever that is. Whether it's just gaining knowledge on something you're into, or a project you're working on, or even, I see travel here, like places you've always wanted to go to. It doesn't have to be that you got to the grind and you're working hard and you're, you know, doing all this to make the dreams come true. For some of you, that dream come true could be just like a little time off. You know, travel the world, relax your energy, enjoy yourself. Even when the star is upside down, it's still obtainable. It's just, it felt a little too far away. It's still coming down. You know, that star has a long way to travel before it falls down on Earth. But there's something where it just hits Earth, and now you can see something that felt like it was impossible being tangible. It's also Aquarius energy. Maybe some of you are connecting to an Aquarius. Could be a fire sign as well. Let's, I mean, if this was upside down, it could be that you had some plans and something really got, you know, stuck at the, what do they call that? The layover airport for a very long time. Somebody had to figure, I just thought of that movie where Tom Hanks lives in the airport. I don't even know the name of it. It's actually a really good movie though. So there's something about maybe somebody got delayed. I feel like with the star, the delay is no mas. You know, something is going to start to move at the speed of light. So let's see what the challenge is. Let's ask about this. What is a challenging situation? Maybe it's having patience. Maybe it's learning to drive that UFO. Maybe it's getting out of a roller coaster ride that you don't like and getting into something you enjoy. Maybe the challenge was something that was paused or stalled. Maybe the challenge is either somebody who really got in their own way, in their own mind, and like talked themselves out of something, self-sabotage something, or the challenge was to maybe get in that UFO, be in that beautiful isolation over here, away from people who are trying to win just to win. I don't like the Final Swords. It's gonna change, but maybe that's just recognition that there is somebody that is just a sour winner, poor loser. You know, they might have the trophy, they might be there, you know, gathering all of those fishing poles that they want, but you know what? The people that they were supposed to be fishing with don't even want to be around that person anymore. They're like, yeah, we're not even sure how far it is to swim across, you know, that shore to get to over there where there's a palm tree, but at least it's not by your bad attitude. Basically, it's somebody with a bad attitude, somebody who tries to use mental manipulation to try to make somebody feel bad, or try to make somebody confused, or try to make somebody question something, or try to, you know, it's somebody who uses weird tactics to get something that's always kind of super selfish. And in the end, that person's always left alone, because eventually, like, they're what did I see the thumbs? Their plot, you know, eventually their big plans you know, are like destroyed or found out, or it's just kind of a sour energy. So eventually somebody doesn't want to, you know, be in a game with someone that's like, hey, come on, you know, I feel like these people even brought the fishing poles, and they're like, hey, you know, that person's always in a bad mood. Maybe we should take them fishing. Maybe that'll soften them up. Let's all go fishing together. You know, and then this person was like, oh, thank you for bringing my fishing poles. You know, I'm going to show you how I'm the best, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to catch all the fish. And is there not even noticing that the other people, like, you know, Elvis has left the building. So upside down, I am going to take a look, because I do like that. Upside down, that's somebody who keeps you mentally stimulated. That's somebody who plays a really good game of chess with you, because they know you can beat the challenge, but if they let you win, if they, you know, just kind of make that game really easy so you don't feel bad if you lose, then you're not going to learn. So if that's an upside down person, that's somebody that, I mean, even if it's Wonder Woman, she's going to be like, all right, maybe you don't have a magic lasso, Elvis, but I know I can train your ass and you can learn this. So that she's going to train. She's gonna like make somebody work a little bit, because she or he recognizes that somebody could have done it all along. It's that Mr. Miyagi energy. You know, sometimes there's a little bit of a slickness about it, but it's a pure intention. You know, the Karate Kid's there painting the house, you know, sanding the floor. You know, he got all of his whole deck done, and at the end he's just mad. And Mr. Miyagi's like, well, what if somebody goes at you like, wah? And now you have that move down that you've done. And bonus, he didn't have to give a free lesson. He got his deck, you know, painted, or whatever that is, you know? So it's like, there was a tough lesson that may not be understood when you were going through it until later. And you say, I get it. I would never have beat that challenge if it was made easy for me. I'm even getting for this, it could be a bigger kind of soul lesson, like something you had to go through that in that situation. Maybe this is even dealing with someone who's like a karmic energy. Sometimes you don't recognize who the star is here, or how beautiful that energy is, until, you know, you kiss some poison frogs over there, you know, or whatever that is, until you see that karmic energy that's so not that. You know, that's so artificial, or maybe stimulating, but in the wrong way. Too much friction. And without that dichotomy, without seeing that other example, you don't really embrace and cherish, you know, the star, or your dream, or, you know, your person from outer space over here, if you hadn't seen what it was like to have that other energy over there. And now you're like, wow, now I know what I was taking breadcrumbs with that energy. Never doing that again, but thank you for the weird lesson. Glad I beat that challenge. And you beam this starlight now differently because of that crappy experience you went through. You know, if everything was always just perfect, it's not a very interesting story. There's something where even if it's a challenging situation, you gain more out of that. And you know, take your shooting star to another dimension out of that situation and like just embrace the future, embrace the now. Totally different. I looked at that 44, which means we should, I'll look at that because I stared at it. You know, that's what I just said. That's the wounded healer. This is also where you recognize that the areas you end up shining, if you are a healer, if you do anything where you help others, there is, hopefully she's not loud, hold on. Hopefully she wasn't too loud. I'm just going to keep going. This is where somebody feels like, you know, they can't do it anymore. They can't be on that roller coaster anymore. They can't go through that karmic cycle anymore. They don't want to go through any situation where they always feel like they were like torn and beaten and bruised and hurt and going through it all the time. And yet there's something that comes that's so strong out of this. It's knowing that sometimes something is worth the effort. We're sometimes losing those battles, you know, you win the not being in a war. You know, you win the big, I don't know why I see like evolution or like, I don't know. I just saw the world and all these stars twinkling. It was really interesting. But sometimes when you go through a certain pattern or a certain situation in your life, let's say it's, you know, always a little heartbreak or a little weird in the romance land. Or let's say for some of you, it's that you always have a difficult situation where it feels like you always have to like rebuild something in your life. Or you feel like something's always happened where, I'm just getting maybe like loss of something, maybe loss of people that you loved, something like that. There's something where it could even be health, something like that. And you know, figure out a way to not just beat that challenge, but heal from that situation. You do have healing here. I do feel like for some of you, an extra message here is, I saw that extra news. Like there's something where you're going to really, like, I don't know, I see your whole body twinkling now. Like really heal from something you felt was a lost cause. Maybe it's, you know, you changed something that you were doing. I'm also getting a lot of energy change, but anything you went through is probably because you were also a healer, and those areas that you've been through some shit you went through. So you are capable of healing because you're not just going to school, learned it in a textbook, sat in front of the professor, you got the credentials, and now you're sitting there and now you were a healer. It's like, no, you're a healer because you've been through it, because your soul's lesson has elevated and escalated because of, you know, some situation that you were meant to go through, because it made you a badass, because it made you, you know, like a Wonder Man or woman. And you should be proud of yourself. And it's also recognizing that if there's something that just always gets you down, it's always getting in your way, it always feels like a battle that is never a win-win, then it's you learning from that situation, now making it a win-win for yourself, and you know, changing something up so you're not repeating something. We're going to take that and I'm going to pull one more. What is, wow, that was so quick. Did you see how quick that was? Well, that's our thing. So that's where it's taking you. You went, I love this. You have a 9-9. You are almost ending something. You're feeling like that almost completion, which I kind of like, because when are you ever really complete? You should, hold on, there's someone at my door. So you went from feeling like it was always a battleground to your surroundings being the most comfortable environment ever. This is where you're paying attention to your garden, your home, yourself, you know, your glow up. I just heard your invention. Maybe some of you invent, or your creation. And this is somebody that's worked hard to get what they have. Whether what they have is very simple and comfortable, but secure, or something they have is lush and vibrant and, you know, super fancy. It doesn't matter. It's that whoever this is put energy and effort into obtaining it. This is interesting because in a lot of the, like the angel, in the angel decks, there's like an extra message that I don't normally read as, but it just came into my mind that one of the extra messages with that, with the 9, is it that? Is the Pentacles? Or it could be the 9 of Wands. Is that, anyway, either way, is that there's an extra connection to the elements and to nature. But the Nine of Pentacles is a self-made man or woman. There's something about you connecting to nature. She got a seagull on her. She's also got that sheer. There's something about translucent or being, you know, sheer with what you're making or what you're putting your energy into. There's also something about somebody coming out of their shell, and the Nine of Pentacles. Sometimes this person is so putting so much energy into what they are building or what they're accomplishing that they forget that they've only talked to that seagull and that snail for, you know, the last 10 days. So there is something about somebody maybe needing to make some plans and perhaps get out of isolation, even if in that isolation there's been a lot of growth and progress and things to be proud of. It's recognizing that no man is an island. So there is something about a connection coming in. I also feel like there's so many like extra things coming through in this. Maybe that was your sign, little beep beep. Maybe somebody is coming to pick you up. There's something about these pentacles interesting, like being on the bushes. You know, they're actually creating growth. And it looks like there's something that you've been putting seeds of abundance into, putting time, energy, effort into, and it's about harvest time here. You're at the ending. So there's something about you getting to gather together all of the, I hear, events or experiences you've had to utilize in I hear a new garden or a new adventure, because you know, you have these seeds, you have this, let's just say this is a fruit, but one of those fruits that you grew has a lot of seeds in it. So there's something about the butterfly effect, and something is going to grow in abundance in your world, and you should be at the top of your world pretty soon and be pretty proud of yourself. I like this. It's also a sense of independence. So if you are connecting with anybody, whoever's coming in, even if you are creating dreams together, you're inspiring each other on your own dreams, there's still this beautiful sense of, I looked at that 5151, independence, interdependence, not codependence. That's coming in, and that feels really nice. That does feel like two people that are really strong, alone, enjoy each other's company, you know, which is why somebody would want to be with you. If you don't enjoy being around yourself, how do you expect someone else to, you know, want to be around you if you're always a sourpuss, or you're always looking at something negative, or you're not ever having any growth, or you feel like you're stuck and stagnant? This is always happens to you because of that, and that's why that. And it's like, well, yeah, shit happens to a lot of people in life, but have you grown from it? Have you gotten up from it? Did you gain strength from it? Did you change because of it? It's not the crappy areas that are, I feel like maybe somebody felt like they'd be judged by, because all of that's human. It's the changes that are important. So let's finish. One more. What is the last message from the universe? What's the last message from the universe? It's never too late to start over. I love this message. You have to trust in the magic of new beginnings. They are waiting for you. Seize them. Was that Carpe Diem? Say that right? Like seize the day? I don't know why I just thought of Dead Poets Society. What is that? Oh, Captain, my captain? Maybe somebody's a captain. And appreciate all that you have. Just trust and relax. It's more that relaxation energy that I think I saw in the very beginning that brings something in, rather than the like needing energy. That's stressful. You know, you shouldn't need anybody else to, you know, bring happiness or healing or, you know, success or abundance. All that is energy you should just have in yourself. And it's like once that you start to do something in your life where you're just enjoying your own company, all of a sudden somebody's like, wow, I want to be around you. And I feel like you're meeting somebody that's kind of like a match. I don't think somebody's fixing somebody else. There's this beautiful balance here between you still putting effort into something, and yet you're relaxing your energy to the outcome. Having patience, comes when it comes. What is meant for you is meant for you. It won't pass you by. And with this, I bid you adieu. I love you so much. I hope this reading was helpful. Mwah! Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being a blessing to me. I'll see you soon. Bye.